Rather than United recorded a professional 2-0 victory over FCSB in the final league game of the Europa League, with a performance that started out pretty slowly but did improve dramatically after half-time. First half characterised by very much control in possession but absolutely zero penetration. FCSB kind of defending compact and frustrating us a little bit. Second half, substitutions brought in pace. We added a little bit more width. I think we're just so much better when we have wing-backs that are offensive rather than defensive. Garnacho and Diallo started to stretch play, run at them, and that sort of led to exposing the gaps in their defensive line. Opener came from a well-worked move. Coming Mainu playing a very crucial role with both a goal and an assist. Very composed finished off a Garnacho assist. Delo getting the opener. And we saw some of those younger talents kind of taking centre stage. Mainu in particular excelled in the advanced role. Martinez was good from the back. We didn't speak about him in 5 things or in the review, actually. And the tactical decisions at half-time really helped shift us into a gear that went and got the victory in the end. So let's go through the players one by one and let's talk about how they did, because there's loads of these that we haven't even touched on in any of the content I've done post the game. So start with Bayern. I'm going with a 6.5 for Bayern. It was a pretty quiet night. Had very little to do in terms of shot stopping. He struggled to create FCSB. Struggled to create any. That is such a hard. I'm just going to call them Bucharest, right? They struggled to create any meaningful chances, meaning that his involvement was largely limited to distribution and organising his backline. 73% was his pass completion, 19 out of 26, just showing how little he was involved. But you would want to see more out of that. There was nothing of note in his distribution. It was just pretty ordinary. He did probably put us under pressure once with a bit of a iffy pass, but he was pretty composed and handled the aerial situations pretty confidently. No major errors from him. Straightforward game. Did what was required. 6.5. Into the defence then, Mazraoui, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Offered the balance between defensive security and ambition with the ball. He was sharp in possession. He was 77 out of 84, giving him 92% completion. And as always, good defensive awareness, good decision making 4 successful tackles, winning 9 out of 15 of his duels. He's got the ability to carry the ball forward as well, which really helped us when space was limited. Defensively, he read the game real well. He made key interceptions. He stopped Bucharest's attack and breaks down his line. In an attacking sense, he was involved in the build-up play, but didn't really have any sort of final ball. Not what was required from him on the night. Played in the right centre-back role. So 7.5 out of 10. Solid. De Ligt, another one that was solid and unspectacular. 80 out of 86 passes, 93%. Helped United dominate the ball, was dominant in the air. He won 4 out of 6 of his aerial duels. A real physical presence that meant they had very little joy when it come to the attacks that they were making. Very composed in 1v1. Wasn't really called upon to make any major defensive interventions. So it was a solid 7 out of 10 game from De Ligt. Martinez then at left side centre-back. I think he was our best defender on the night. He was dominant in possession, 90 passes, completing 84, 93% pass completion, consistently finding teammates, consistently looking to move it forward. His ability to step out with the ball and dictate play is massive, and probably one of the reasons why Amorim likes having a back three, so you give somebody the opportunity to do that. Wasn't tested much defensively, but controlled his zone well. He made 4 clearances, stayed composed while dealing with the sporadic attacks that did come down his side. It was leadership, really, I felt, out of Martinez in this game. And I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 for it. Malacia, I'm going to say 6 out of 10. He struggled to impose himself in the first half. 81% pass completion, a little bit inconsistent. Give fouls away in areas that could have really hurt us. Lost possession 4 times in just 45 minutes. Defensive work was okay. He won 3 out of 5 of his duels. He didn't really contribute anything to us going forward and was subbed off at half-time. So 6 out of 10. Have you ever landed in a new country, excited to explore, only to see that your phone has got no service? You're navigating unfamiliar streets, trying to stay in touch with loved ones, or even if you're just trying to check the internet, it becomes a struggle. And that's where Saley, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. Sail is a really innovative eSIM service that is designed to keep you connected wherever you go. You just install a single eSIM and you can access affordable data plans in over 180 countries and 8 different regions. No more long lines at airports, no overpriced local SIM cards or dodgy, risky public Wi-Fi's. It's very easy to use. Just download the Sally app, select the plan that fits your travel needs, activate it before your trip, and whether you're visiting one country or traveling through an entire region, it has got you covered. Even if you're not traveling just yet, if you're planning ahead with Saily, it ensures that you'll be ready for the moment that you arrive. And if your phone isn't compatible with eSIM technology, it's not a problem. Saily offers a full refund. Plus, their 24/7 customer support is there to help whenever you need it. Right now, you can save 15% on your Saily plan. Use my code Howson, that's HOWSON, or just visit saily.com/Howson to grab your discount. With Saily, staying connected has never been this simple, affordable, or reliable. Download the app today and make your next trip seamless. Into midfield, Bruno Fernandes was involved a little bit deeper back because of wanting to move Manu further forward, but he was heavily involved. 114 touches in total. He did have 67 out of 78 passes completed, which is a little bit of an improvement and starting getting to the sort of area you would want him to be if he is played in that deeper role. He can orchestrate attacks from there. He's got a good range of passing. That high-risk pass sometimes means that we lose possession in the wrong areas, and he lost the ball 24 times. That's a little bit high for a player that's going to play in that kind of deeper role, but he is the still chief chance creator in the team. He did create one big chance. He was unlucky that he hit the woodwork. But yeah, it was a decent-ish game, I thought, from Bruno. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. Collier, I'm going 6.5. It was composed. It was disciplined. He completed 92% of his passes. He just kept things ticking. Didn't really impose himself on the game. Certainly nowhere near as much as Manu did a little bit later on. Made 1 tackle. Won 3 out of 5 duels. Again, solid, unspectacular, 6.5 out of 10 performance. Delo, I'm going to say 7. I thought he did well for his goal. That was key. You know, you've got to get the first goal, and he did do that. Defensive contributions were okay. He did make a couple of decent tackles. He covered the ground quite well, and he had some pretty decent positioning. It's one of his better performances under Amorim, but it's still only a 7. I think if you can improve upon him, I think he takes a bit of time out of the starting 11 because he has been, for me, he's been lacking a little bit of late. But 7 out of 10 last night. Into the forward line, then let's start with Christian Eriksen because, again, tidy in possession, 80% of his passes. He got 2 key passes. Wasn't his best game. Defensive contribution was minimal. Wasn't really asked to do that. It's a 6.5 out of 10 performance. It's just okay. Manu. I'm going to say he was man of the match, right? So he's got to be 8.5 or 9. I'm gonna say 9. That might be giddy. It was probably more of an 8.5, but I'm putting 9 down. He was the standout player. He looked so much better in that advanced role. Very composed. He got a goal and assist. Heavily influenced both goals, obviously. His dribbling was sharp. 4 out of 5 successful dribbles. He completed 91% of his passes. He created 2 big chances. He won 7 duels. Yeah. 9's probably about right, isn't it? It was a real statement performance. Shows that he can be an attacking force. Now we want to see some consistency from him. Hopefully in that position and able to start influencing Premier League games. Because if you influence Premier League games to the level that you influenced that last night, we'll be in a real good spot. So well done. Man of the match. Rasmus Højlund. How many times can I say it was a frustrating night? Every fucking night is frustrating with him. He did complete all 9 of his passes, but it was 9 passes. He didn't win duels. He missed 2 big chances. He's got to be more clinical. He's got to be stronger in his duels. He's got to be better with his link-up play. I'm really thinking about giving him a 5 here, which is higher than what I think he should get. And that's because he completed his 4.5, 4.5. Is that fair? Substitutes then. Garnacho, 8 out of 10. Direct running was brilliant from him. Won or was successful in 5 out of 7 of his dribbles. He really stretched the defence, and he got an assist. He hit the woodwork, lively, dangerous, 8 out of 10 performance. Diallo, another sub that did well, but probably nowhere near as well as Garnacho. So I'm going to say 7 out of 10 for Diallo. Played with confidence, won 3 duels, was a threat, but it wasn't quite the level that we've seen out of Diallo, so I can only give him a 7. Casemiro, Yoro, Xerxes, say 6 out of 10 for all of them. They weren't really on long enough to do anything. They were all largely positive impacts. No one really did anything major, did they? And then Gaffer, then I'm going to say 8.5 for Amorim. Half-time changes transformed it. Moving Menu forward is what we've been asking for, and it proved to be effective. Bringing on Garnacho and Diallo made all the difference. Tactical adaptability, impressed. A strong performance, showing that parts of his philosophy are starting to take hold. So 8.5 out of 10 for the Gaffer. Give us your ratings. Let me know what you thought. Let me know which one of those you disagree with. Let me know which ones you do agree with. And I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.